Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you about my Rhino Rack Vortex roof rack. Welcome back and thanks for being here. I didn't think I was going to do a review on my roof rack, but I'm buying another one, a different one. Not because there's anything wrong with this, but I need more features, different features. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about this one. It is a good option. When I was shopping for racks, naturally I took a look at the Volkswagen factory rack, and there were a few things that I didn't like about it. One, and probably the most petty of them all, was that the crossbars are silver. My car is a 2017 Sport, which is very similar to, I think, the 18 and 19 Rabbits, and the Sport has a black and silver. Mine has a black and silver color scheme going on here. I've got black wheels, I've got black mirror caps, that's the way it came, and then just black trim. So silver and black was kind of my theme, and the silver of the factory crossbar does not match the silver of the car's paint. It's a very petty thing, I know, but I wanted a black roof rack. The Volkswagen factory rack is said to be kind of noisy, and I can't help but wonder if some of that noise is because of the fact that it sits higher. I want to say it's about this high when compared to this Rhino rack. I like that these sit nice and low. They sit kind of far back on the roof line, so there's plenty of room for the air to blow up and over the rack. And the other thing that I like about the Rhino rack compared to the competition is this flush style. The Volkswagen roof rack also has this flush style, and I like it. And I think it contributes to silence on the Rhino rack anyway, not the Volkswagen accessory rack. And so that was what I went with. I'm a Yakima fan. I've got a whole lot of the same key system accessories from Yakima, and so I wanted one of those. But Yakima does not have a flush style crossbar like the factory rack, and then you can see here the Rhino rack has the flush style, and I like the flush style, so I went for that. Of course, I had to get a different key, the Rhino rack key. That is the one thing on all of my accessories that is not keyed alike, and that only bothers me a little bit. It's not like I have to use these keys very frequently, right? But as you can see, the arrow bar sits nice and low to the paint. I do not have a sunroof, but even if I did, this low clearance, there's still plenty of room to open and close the sunroof. And it's got these little, I don't know, these are supposedly little vortex generating strips to keep the bars quiet, and you peel them up and cut them to fit certain things, and I finally have done that with these accessory mounts here. These are for mounting shovels, axes, brooms, I suppose. I use it for my homemade awning. I will link a video up here for you to go check that out, the awning. This is a Yakima accessory, and it is lockable with my matching key system. So why am I getting something different? Well, the thing that I really like about the Rhino rack is also one of its limitations. Because it is a flush style mount, I'm limited to the front bar is 40 or 41 inches wide and the back bar is 37. So if my load is wider than 37 inches, that's all I can carry. And 37 inches is plenty if all you're mounting is a couple of bicycles or maybe a couple of canoes or something like that. But I carry a rather large cargo box. And that's almost the only reason I have this roof rack, is so I can carry a cargo box. The cargo box is 36 inches wide, and so it is all that will fit up here. And the majority of the time that's fine. That's all I need it to hold up here. Once I put this accessory mount on here for my do-it-yourself awning, that forced me to have to move the cargo box over just an inch. It's not too painful. It's hardly noticeable. The perfectionist in me wants it right on the center of the car, but it's all right. I can live with it the way it is. But I have found myself recently wanting to take on a project that will require a little bit more rack space. And for that, I need to go with something that has an extended crossbar that hangs out over the edge of the car. And so I have another rack on order. It has 52-inch crossbars, and that will allow me to carry more stuff. So that is the only reason I'm getting something different, and I will do a review on that later. But the fact that I have something else coming is why I wanted to review this Rhino Rack. The Rhino Rack, in short, has been fantastic, and it's quiet, easy to mount. It's intuitive. They even give you these little stickers so that you can mark where you're going to put your crossbars. That way you don't have to take out a tape measure and measure every time you're going to do it. And yes, it's true that it is not used at factory locations. The front crossbars, for example, on the factory rack, I want to say are about right here. There's actually a little hole here that you slip the factory crossbar into. I think everybody specifies a different location on the roof where they want their crossbars to go, and a lot of that depends on, I think, the shape of the foot pad. I will know for sure once I get my, I've got a Yakima rack on the way, so I'll know for sure when the Yakima rack shows up whether or not it's the shape of the pad that determines where it sits on the car. I believe that it is the shape of the pad, and even this, the shape of the pad is not perfect. I mean, I can see a little gap from over here, there's a little gap here. It's not perfect, but it is very secure. It is not going anywhere. And also very quiet. Speaking of quiet, by the way, fairings. Fairings are very fashionable, and they are touted to reduce road noise, wind noise. Don't get the fairing. I had a fairing on this car, and I only had it for about 2 days. All it took was one trip to work to tell me that the fairing is louder and at high speed. The fairing, which sits about right here, would actually start to flap a little bit from turbulence, and that will mar the paint. I knew immediately this thing was out of here, so I sent it back, got a refund, no sweat. But keep that in mind if you think about a fairing. A fairing on this rack is purely an accessory statement. It is not necessary to reduce noise. The rack is very quiet. I love it. Feel free to post questions if you have them. I will share the Yakima rack when it shows up. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Take care.